This is Pastor Mike Schreiber for the Bible Baptist Church International and San Jose Bible Baptist Church in Northern California. Let me consider a question most Christians never ask, but they should. What is a Bible believer? We use the phrase a lot, he believes the Bible, our church believes the Bible. So I tried to whittle down the term to its simplest definition. Maybe this will help. One who believes the entire copies of the Old and New Testament that he holds in his hands, can read in his own language, make the Bible a complete revelation from God without any need for improvement, modification, update, second guessing. He simply believes it as it's written, every word, every punctuation mark, and understands that one day he'll have to answer to the Lord for it. That man is a Bible believer. By contrast, one who believes only the original manuscripts are the inspired words of God cannot be a Bible believer. The originals don't exist. They've never been found. And if you found them, how would you recognize them? They probably wouldn't have the words first draft stamped on the top. All men have ever had were copies of copies transmitted over the centuries from which to work. Also, one might believe the original manuscripts were the words of God, but no such claim can be made for a translation. That person is now also not a Bible believer. When the writers of the Greek New Testament quoted from the Hebrew Old Testament, and they did this at least 200 times, didn't they have to translate? And if the entire Hebrew Scriptures had been rendered into Greek 250 years before Christ under Ptolemy II, by this measure, the very Scriptures read by Christ and the disciples in the synagogue, Luke chapter 4, weren't inspired either. One might think all translations are essentially the words of God, and arguing over one or the other is irrelevant. That person's certainly not a Bible believer. He thinks his own intellect and reasoning skills are sufficient for spiritual concerns. One might think there's one good version, better than all the rest. It just has a few mistakes that need correction. That person's not a Bible believer. The presence of one mistake would constitute an imperfect Bible. If there's one error, perhaps there are many. It would then be impossible to define the term Bible believer, as we did a minute ago. One whose job isn't to change the Bible, but the Bible's job is to change him. I am a Bible believer. I hope you are too.